This is Celestial Horizons, Shattered Sleep, an interactive podcast where you can influence how the story develops. The year is 2372, and you have signed up to be cryogenically frozen and shunted 1,200 light years across space by means of a one-way trip through a wormhole. You expected to be woken up 100 years after that transit, once your vessel had traveled the rest of the distance to the Hypatia solar system. There, you would establish a colony and, after 10 years awake, build a gate to allow you to return home.
Critical damage detected to the Ark Lyravea. Power fluctuations detected. Connection lost to central data core. Due to hull breach, we are losing contents from decks
But
3,
you've been
11,
woken up 100 years
56,
early.
90,
Catastrophe
99.
lurks around the corner, and you have been tasked with seeing the vessel safely to its destination. The actions of the next few hours and days will determine not only who, if anyone, survives the journey, but also will set the stage for the future of this colony and the generations that will live there.
Login successful. Welcome to ArkNet Engineering Directory. I am Anna, the ArkNet Navigational Assistant. There are 7 new messages available. First message, Anthony Worthing, Acting Second Deputy Chief of Engineering.
Gosh, this stuff is awful. I don't know how much longer I can survive off of freeze-dried rations. Ooh. Do you think the captain would get mad if I requested a hot meal? No, it's not like they can just fire me. Or maybe they could. Just put me back to sleep. Oh, maybe I could ask for some steak and potatoes or, some hearty stew.
Critical failure on deck 47. Fluid storage unit pressure levels are critical and dropping. Content leakage likely. Affected fluid storage units as follows: 47 Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf. 48 Alpha, Bravo, Delta, Golf.
That's not our
Hotel.
beer storage, is it?
Error 721. Query.
Dang it, another toilet malfunction? Our water supply? How am I supposed to fix things when I don't even know what's wrong?
Records
I'll-
inconclusive.
I'll go check it out. Go for a walk.
End of first message. Second message from Acting Chief of Engineering.
Alice Saberhagen.
Okay. Firstly, welcome anyone who just recently awoke. There's too much hitting the fan for me to catch you up, so please go see my previous messages on the ArkNet comms to get up to speed. Worthing, buddy, you doing okay? Trust me, we're all in the same boat here. I want to take a good long icy nap too, but we're the only hope this ship has of getting to Hypatia. You can hold it together. And on your next off shift, go see the med teams and ask to speak to a counselor. Anybody feeling overwhelmed should go see the med teams. We can't afford any breakdowns here or avoidable mistakes due to people being on edge. Anyway, now to your regular Chief Engineering update. Thanks for the great thoughts, everybody, regarding our Foxtrot-class storage bays. Based on our discussion, I recommended to the captain that we focus on salvaging what we can from the gravitational array and trying to find space for whatever critical pieces of the railgun we can pull off. Though this is the more time and personnel-intensive option, the array is significantly harder to replace. The captain also indicated that we could possibly make up for some of the lost time by altering our colony development plans? I don't know the details there, but hey, that's not our problem. I've sent in the requests for the gravitational array specialists to be woken up, in addition to several new junior engineers to do the grunt work of cutting the thing apart. Worthing, that new team falls under your jurisdiction, called GravSalve. They'll be ready to go in about 4 hours. As for the railgun, we'll be moving it outside the hull of the ship to make space for the grav array parts. Any leftover space will be dedicated to whatever critical railgun pieces we can pull off. Maybe we'll get permission to turn some hallways into extra storage spaces down the line.
Critical failure. Secondary leak on deck 48 detected.
Oh, whoop-de-doo. Thanks, Anna. Sounds like Worthing is looking into it now. In other news, department heads, about 12% of our diagnostics and monitoring systems are back online, so great job. Anna can now see some parts of the ship and keep us all updated, as I'm sure you've all noticed. And thank you, Hernandez, for all of your work on those redundant tape drives. I know they can take forever to reincorporate with the ship, so you are killing it. As a result of all this, we've got some updates on the ship's status. First, the bridge has been obliterated. Something smashed into it, turning the transit team that was inside into a billion little pieces. That's where Captain Altermyrino was when whatever happened. The surviving members of the transit team were all clustered near the engine core, which is why none of them have any idea what caused this. The ship just started getting pummeled. That also explains why Anna can't access any of the ship-wide logs. We also knew the central computer core had been decimated, and copies are stored right below the bridge and on each individual reporting system. So, for example, because the bridge is gone, if we want to see the sensor logs, we'll need to get the sensor system running and reconnected to the new network Hernandez is working on. In some good news, no new impacts have been reported, nor has Anna or the damage crew found any new hull breaches. I don't know, maybe we're out of the worst of whatever hit us. For now, it's just engineering against the cold void of space. We will be up and running in no time if we keep working at this pace, and the acting captain told me that he has authorized another wave of unfreezing people, so expect some new hands to get sent to each of your teams. Good thing we brought cryofluid to spare, so we can put everybody back to sleep when this is all over. This is why we have layers and layers of redundancies and contingency plans. Remember to put redundancies into your jerry-rigging. And finally, department heads, I'm drafting up a comprehensive damage report on ventilation and electrical systems for the captain. Please send any details you may have on those. Apparently, they didn't like my first report on what's broken. It was just a single bullet point that said everything. I could sense subtle eye roll through the ArcNet comms, but I reassured them that we're still looking into it. Heating is on the fritz, though atmospheric levels seem consistent. And that most recent report by Anna. Let me see if I can't just pull up a schematic of the ship to see what we have in there. The liquid storage on deck 47. Shit. Worthing, patch that all. Don't let anything else leak. Priority number 1. I've got to talk to the captain.
End of
Second
message. Third message from Anthony Worthing.
Hey, guys. Sorry I freaked out a bit. I promise it won't happen. Actually, maybe I can't promise that. It might happen a lot. I'm in a pressure suit because this whole area has none.
Oxygen levels nominal. Suit battery levels at 79% capacity.
I am, on deck 47. The leak seems substantial. Like, not something that could be mopped up or scooped back into the vials or nothing. What even is this crap? Super viscous. Kind of milky purple floating around everywhere. It's kind of pretty. Whatever it is seems to be lurking all around this sector, but also through lots of tiny hull breaches and floating away in the cold void of space you mentioned. So, these storage things were environmentally stabilized? I'm going to try to patch only the ones that still have functioning monitoring, because, if this purple stuff needs to be stored specially, it doesn't do us any good if the tanks are broken, right? Hold on, gotta readjust the... Microgravity just makes me...
Fourth message Anthony Worthing.
No luck on the environmental monitoring stuff yet, but I think I found the light controls for the officers' quarters on deck 45. So that could be fun to mess with later. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. But for real though, did you know their quarters have mood light settings? Okay, wait, I just bypassed the main interface for the tanks to the systems. Oh, there is a lot of red here. And it looks like there's only 18.27% of this stuff left, and that number is dropping quickly. Oh, shoot. I'm a friend that, you want to tell me what this stuff is?
End of 4th message. 5th message. Hollis Saberhagen. Attention. This is a Priority 1 confidential message from the Chief of Engineering. The contents of this message are classified.
Okay, everyone. Sorry about the radio silence from me and my assistants. The captain has classified what I'm about to tell you. You all have the okay to know this, but only because you're essential for addressing it. None of your teams have permission to know, nor is anybody outside of the command team or engineering. Any leakers will be brigged. The news. The liquid leaking is the Sculpin antifreeze protein solution, i.e. the cryojuice. That's the stuff they pump into our bloodstream before we go under to make sure we freeze evenly. Without it, going into cryostasis has an extremely high chance of complications such as brain damage, losing limbs, or death. It's something that we do not have the capacity to fabricate due to the fact that the raw materials have a short shelf life and only come from Arctic fish back on Earth. That's why cryojuice containers have to be environmentally sealed and monitored. When it goes bad, people don't wake up. As Worthing has acutely observed, it's leaking through several hull breaches. That section of the ship got Swiss cheesed. He plugged the leaks in one container that had been punctured, but we don't know if the fluid has been compromised. The damage to the monitoring system means that most of the remaining big functioning tanks are filled with spoiled fluids. Worthing's first estimates are that we only have about 1.78% of what we started out with. We were sent with enough to cover all of the babysitting shifts for the people designated to be awake for each part of our 100-year journey, plus 50% extra in case of an emergency, then rounded up. We had 4,000 doses of this. We have 71 doses at the moment. Counting the specialists we just woke up, we have 195 people awake. I know you all have a lot of questions. Do not panic. I will get answers to you as soon as we have them. Most of them we will need to get through later. We will find a way through this. For now, just focus on keeping this piece of shit together. You need to understand a few directives, so I got permission to keep you all in the loop. Do as much as possible without waking anybody else up, because most of the people we wake up will not be able to go back to sleep. They will grow old and die before we ever reach Hypatia. We are to only wake people up in the case that without them more people will die. Once again, the captain says this is confidential information. They said, this is a PR nightmare. Something this big is bound to get out soon enough, but keeping quiet about it might postpone some inevitable mass hysteria. We need people focusing and remaining calm. So, there are only a couple dozen of us that know, and they will punish anybody who lets it slip. The captain didn't sugarcoat anything. They didn't even want you all to know and just planned on rejecting requests to wake certain people up, but I fought to bring you into the loop because I think you have the right to know. I think everybody has the right to know, and I think that keeping this secret will only make the fallout worse when it does come up. But the captain shot that down hard, and we're still waking people up. Less than we need, but the second he heard, the captain moved the head of human resources to the top of the unfreezing schedule. Everybody, the reality of the situation is that they cannot afford to brig any of us. Not for long anyway, we're too important. I want to tell our teams, and everybody that we're waking up. But I don't want to do that just on my own. Do you agree with me that it would be better for our people to know now? Or do you think that I'm being foolish and we should listen to the captain and keep this under wraps? I trust you all to be level-headed about this and to consider the well-being of the mission above all else here. We'll have time to hash out the personal questions of who and why and how and our families later.
End of fifth message. Sixth message. Anthony Worthing.
I've been thinking since you called me, boss. Ignorance is bliss, they say. I would be happier if I just stayed unaware and thought I was going back to sleep in a little bit. I can't deal with this right now. I can't deal with this at all. I mean, how long until we starve to death? Do we have enough water for a bunch of us to live here? Air for everyone to survive for another 100 years? What about my frozen family back at home? Tell them what's going on? Talk to them while I slowly die on this thing? What if Earth just sips us more? We could just wait around and hunker down and they could use a wormhole to refill us in 5 years. 5 years isn't too bad, right? Right?
End of sixth message. Seventh message. Hollis Saberhagen.
We should be fine with rations. We've got enough for thousands of people on board. Even if we run out, we still have several food recycling systems aboard. They're certainly not the tastiest, but we will survive. We also still have water, which we recycle too. Anna has confirmed that. And if we didn't have life support, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But long-term accommodations are not our concern right now. Top priority is all issues life-threatening, and then right to work on fixing Anna's assessment software. It's supposed to be the Ark Lyravea's eyes and ears. If it's blind, we're all blind. And comms. They are in fact down according to Lishara, and we desperately need to get in contact with Earth. A full damage report is still in the works. The trouble is, none of us awake are fully qualified to mess with entangled particles. Our spook system is the kind of delicate that if it gets screwed up, cannot be fixed. You have to have particles next to each other to re-entangle them, so one wrong move and we will be permanently without connection to Earth. And that system is essential for opening the gate. We will not be able to open a wormhole to them without coordinating with someone on the other side, and if we wake up our particle entanglement specialists now, they won't be alive in 110 years to set up the gate. Unless we all agree that they get a guarantee to go back to sleep. But who gets to go back to sleep is a question for later. No, I want opinions on this communication matter as well. Do we wake them up to fix it and kick the can of what else do we do about them being essential for the gate down the road? Or do we try to fix it ourselves, not wanting to risk losing them? Or, hell, do we even say screw getting in contact with Earth? Their wormholes are obviously shitty anyway. Let's just wake them up when they're supposed to be woken up and have them fix it then and go without comms to Earth. Sorry. I know it all looks bad. Is bad. But let me stress again. We have to keep level about it. There are too many people depending on us. We will work out that other crap. All in time. Anyway, just get back to me on if we should tell our people about the leak and what you think we should do about the spook system.
End of messages. There are no new messages. Please watch your computer terminal for new priority messages from acting engineering heads. Good luck, and Godspeed.
Thank you for listening to the second chapter of Celestial Horizons Shattered Sleep. To be a part of the engineering team discussion, please join our Discord server. The link can be found at www.celestialhorizons.io. There, under the ArkNet channel, you'll be able to comment on the communications in this episode and react to other people's comments. The most popular and well-thought-out comments will influence these characters and their decisions. Let us know if word about the cryojuice should be spread to everyone awake, or if it should be kept secret from those who don't absolutely need to know. Also, let us know if you think we should wake up the people that need to fix the communication systems, or if that's not worth the risk and we should just deal without them for the time being. Thanks again for listening. For the latest Celestial Horizons news and content releases, please visit our website at www.celestialhorizons.io. Also, please share this with your friends. Help spread the word about cool things that we're doing here and get them involved in the conversation as well. Doing so will allow us to put together even bigger and better projects so you can explore and create this fantastic new world with us. This episode was written by Éamonn T.D. Shults, Marcus Richardson, Riley Jeffs, and Nathan Young. Produced and edited by Nathan Young, with music by Marcus Richardson. Good luck, and Godspeed.